Hello everyone, I'm Dan Holdsworth from Merseyside Police and I'm the organiser of Cycles for the Caribbean. We're here today at Speedy Depot, Liverpool, Speedy Services, where we're putting together the bikes, they're being registered, and we've got a load of stuff in here that we want to show you. But what I want to do first of all is thank the Chief Officers of Merseyside Police, and there's many Chief Officers around the country who have supported this work of sending cycles to the Caribbean with tools and other equipment. Thank you for your time, thank you for giving me this time so that I can do this even in work time, to bring all the bikes here to Liverpool, to Speedy Services. I want to say thanks to Liam as well, who's the depot manager, who supported what we're doing along with Steve Giblin and the Chief Officers at Speedy. What I want to do is take you inside the depot, introduce you to Dave Webster from the Coalition of Disabled People who have been servicing our bikes, and Ray Breen from Liverpool University who does security there, who are marking all the bikes up now so that in the event that they do get stolen they can be recovered, and it's Bike Register who are using for all of that. So thanks Liam for your support, thanks to Speedy. Speedy gave us £3,000 to send the container over to the British Virgin Islands. They've also provided a driver to take it down to London once we've filled it tomorrow here at the depot, and they're also paying for Try for Life's team kits, because we're all coming out in July to take part in some different events, and we want to invite you to take part. We're going to be on the island from the 25th of July to the 4th of August, and then we're going to be doing swimming, running and cycling events around the 4 main islands. We have a Facebook page, Try for Life. We're also on Twitter, which is at UK Police C4TC, that's Charlie 4 Tango Charlie. Please join us, please get involved, and let's take you through now and show you what's happening with the bikes and the other equipment that's been donated by Merseyside Police, North Wales Police, Leicestershire Police, Staffs, Cheshire and many other police forces across the country, such as Hampshire and Sussex, who have also given equipment and money to help get these goods out to you in the British Virgin Islands to help you recover and rebuild from what happened last year. Hi, here we are at Speedy Services, Liverpool Depot. I'd just like to say thank you to Sussex Police on behalf of the Anguilla Police, Commissioner Paul Morrison, who will be receiving these 2 off-road bikes, which we'll be putting on our container with the Cycles for the Caribbean, the tools for the Caribbean, and they're going to be used over by the Royal Anguillian Police Force. They requested them. They said that they would need these after the hurricanes hit last year. The transport was down, the roads were down, and off-road bikes were something that was really needed. So these are being sent out. They were left at Bryce Norton last year. They couldn't get onto the planes to go out there. So we've managed to get them for Mr Morrison, and they're going out on the 30th of June, and then they'll be moved from the British Virgin Islands to Anguilla. Thanks very much, Sussex Police, great job. Thank you to Hampshire Police as well, the Chief Constable Olivia Pinkney, and NPOC, who have donated 100 of these riot shields and some round shields as well for the British Virgin Islands, Royal Virgin Islands Police, and for the Anguilla Police. Thanks again for your support on behalf of the Commissioners of Police, Mr Mick Matthews and Mr Paul Morrison. These will be going out on the container too. I'd like to introduce you to Dave Webster from the Buzz Hub. We've been working with them and they've been supporting what we've been doing for Cycles for the Caribbean. So Dave, just tell us what your gang has been doing with the cycles.
Okay. Our particular organisation is a charity that provides opportunities for young people with actual learning disability. Since December of last year, we've been involved with Dan in servicing cycles to be sent over to the Caribbean. Within that time, we've linked in with Stacey Mather and Lorna Dawson over in the British Virgin Islands. Stacey works with the Youth Empowerment Service, and with that regard, we are sending over football kits, football shirts and sports equipment for Stacey to use with his young people within his soccer camps. We've also linked in with Lorna Dawson, and with Lorna we're sending over craft equipment, craft materials, board games, hopefully some garden tools as well for the horticultural projects. It's been an honour and a privilege to work alongside Dan in this respect. Our members are again honoured and privileged to make those links over with people who are like-minded over in the Caribbean, and to that end we hope to continue and foster those links as time goes on. So again, it's been a privilege and a pleasure to work with Dan, and we hope we've made a difference in some small way.
As well as getting bikes for children, from training balance bikes for 2 to 3 year olds all the way up to 16-year-olds, we've also had bikes donated from Leicestershire Police Chief Constable Simon Cole. Thank you very much, sir, on behalf of Mr Morrison and Mr Matthews. We've got 13 of these bikes which are going over to the British Virgin Islands for the RVI Police, and some of those will be donated to the Anguillian Police as well. So thank you very much for that. All the bikes are being bike registered now, and we'll go inside and we'll have a look at what's happening there. But thank you again for all your support. Just like to introduce you to Ray Breen from Liverpool University. Ray, if you could just explain what you're doing now.
Yeah, no problem. This is Ryan and this is Chris from the University of Liverpool, and what we're doing now is we're registering the bikes to make them more traceable. If you have a look, Chris is putting a liquid solution onto the bike. That's going to harden and it'll go into like little metal pimples on the bike, which will be extremely difficult to get off. If that bike was to fall into the wrong hands, there's much more chance of us tracing it. It's registered with the police. The police also have the ability on the phones to text in this number to see who owns the bike, etc., things like that. And if you ever misplace the bike, you go onto the bike register website and then they can start tracking your bike down and passing all the information on to the police. It also gives us, a lot of bikes nowadays don't have a unique reference number on, which they should have. And by doing this, everybody's getting their bikes registered. But we're keen to assist in what's going on with the bikes for the Caribbean. That's the main thing. And the University of Liverpool's happy to fund this. And it's a pretty good system. On the University of Liverpool itself, bike crime has reduced dramatically whilst we've had this system in place.
Right, okay. So it's bike register. So all the bikes the majority of the bikes that we have that are going out to the Caribbean have been lost, stolen, recovered, but they've not been reclaimed because we've not been able to repatriate them with their owners. So what we're doing to make sure that if any bikes go missing that we send over to the British Virgin Islands, each one has its own bike register number, and they're all registered to the Youth Empowerment Programme, Stacey Mather. So we're preventing thefts basically. So although these have been found and reclaimed but not repatriated, all of the cycles for the Caribbean will all be bike registered. So thanks very much.
And it's good that all the bikes are being recycled, and it's good that the cause that they're going to. There's a lot of children who won't have bikes that are able to get their hands on decent bikes, down to little tiny baby bikes, and that's why we're delighted to be involved.
Excellent. Thanks to Liverpool University as well.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I'd like to say a big thank you in respect of some of the items that have been donated to this particular project. A special thanks must go to Everton Football Club, who at very short notice gave a number of children's football kits, shirts and shorts, and for that we're very grateful. And Everton have pledged to continue their support as the weeks and months go forward for these particular projects. Members of Buzz Hub Centel and CDP have collected shirts, donated football shirts. We've purchased new football boots for the programme over in the Caribbean that Stacey Mather is leading on. We've also got crafts equipment as well, which we're actually donating to Lorna Dawson and her projects again over in the Caribbean. We have to say a big thank you to McDonald's in St Helens as well for the donation of kit bags, which will transport the kits over to the Caribbean also. To that end, we're very grateful. It has been at short notice, but people have stepped up to the plate to donate these wonderful things.
Just like to say thank you to North Wales Police as well, who've sent these waders down and these life preservers here. We don't know if they're of any use, but there's lots of yachting that goes on in the British Virgin Islands. Whether or not they'll be of use, to the emergency services, or yet can sell them and make some money for what you're doing out there. Also behind me, these boxes have got helmets which have been paid for by Cycle UK Merseyside branch. They gave us £500, so we've purchased 60 helmets for young children up to 16-year-olds, and there's some spare parts there. What you can't see is we've got some tools as well, garden tools, power tools, generators. So what we want to try and do is send cycles for the Caribbean, send kits for the Caribbean, and send tools for the Caribbean, and where we want to move to with that is send skills out to the Caribbean to help in recovery, rebuild projects, which I'd like to talk to the people in the BVI a bit more about once we get over there. We are coming over on the 25th of July. I'm coming with a bike mechanic so that all these bikes will be made safe. That's why we've got the helmets as well. The Try for Life team come out on Saturday the 28th, and then from the 29th through to the 4th of August, we're going to be running, swimming and cycling around the 4 main islands, and we want you to join us. So please look for us on Facebook, Try, T-R-I, for Life. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you over there. I'd also like to say thank you to Garth Dallas, who's the General Secretary of our charity, who's been supporting us here in the UK, the Merseyside and Cheshire Commonwealth Association. Garth's been with us from day one and joined the Try for Life team on our fundraising cycle event in May, when we cycled to North Wales Police, handing over the baton of hope for the BVI to Chief Inspector Owen Llewellyn of Roads Policing for North Wales Police. Owen's team then rode over 70 miles to Cheshire, handing over the baton to Constable Lee Spencer, who then rode over 50 miles to Staffordshire Police, handing over the baton to Chief Inspector Phil Fortune, whose team then cycled to Derbyshire. We've had great support from the Merseyside and Cheshire Commonwealth Association, who raised money for the Caribbean territories, and we've also had great support from Norfolk Police, Hampshire Police and many more police services around the UK, including the Police Service of Northern Ireland and Officer Jay Bleakley, who took the baton of hope out on his cycle and around the office and raised more money to get the shipment across to the British Virgin Islands. What we have done is invited police forces across the country, and we'll invite them again to take part in our HQ to HQ or city to city ride, or it could even be a Speedy Services Depot to Speedy Services Depot ride next year in May, the last bank holiday weekend, where we're going to raise money for worthy causes, one of those being for the Caribbean, to help rebuild people's properties and businesses out there. So look out for that, and thanks again to all of you who have supported this.